Good morning and welcome to the broadcast, everybody. My name's Todd and this is Digging Life 21. Today is a day that I've been super excited to share with you guys for weeks now since I found out I'm getting to do this job. We are going to be clearing a whole bunch of brush and we're going to be doing it with the Cat 309CR and the Fecon FMX 36 forestry mulching head. This head has got some pretty good wear on those teeth, but for the types of stuff we're going to be mulching, it's going to work just fine. Let's just jump right into it. I'm choosing to use the Fecon head on this portion because we're close to these campers and it's a lot easier for me to direct where the chips come out of this head. Primarily they get shot out the front there, but there will be a good bit of debris that goes out the back. I'm going to do this in real time so you guys can get a good feel for how fast this process goes. To buy that head when I bought it several years ago and to have the hoses made and mounted and everything was about $23,000. Big investment compared to the other head that you'll see today, and it's real important you guys watch every bit of this if you're thinking about buying either a forestry mulching head or just a rotary brush cutter for these things. They both do a great job, but watching this video will help you decide which one's best for you. folks. I am very pleased with how that head did on that material. We only really had a couple of bigger poplars. They weren't even really that big, but given how dull the teeth are on that thing, it still did really well. I need to just come back through here and track those tracks down. I'll probably come back through with my bucket at the end and dress these edges. Still got a little work to do here, but as per the usual, this is the one downside to a mulching head, is when it wraps barbed wire up that's hidden in the bush, it really does a good job of it. All you can do is laugh about it, because it's going to happen. You're going to get wrapped up. I'm going to get this cleaned out and we'll put the Bushmaster on and we'll let you guys see how it does. I really want to get over there on that steeper bank and lay waste to that. Y'all will notice right away that it's going to mow a lot quicker, but also pay attention that we're mowing a lot of grass here to start with. I'm going to put you guys outside here in a minute, and honestly, this thing I can cut through bigger stuff as quickly as I'm going through these grasses. So I'll try to do this thing more in clips as opposed to real time. One thing you won't be able to tell is I always keep my blade behind me. Well, see this little pine tree here? So like there's nothing to that. I didn't even feel it. Bushmaster, as far as the production speed, as long as you're doing stuff, it's really 2 inches and under. A rotary head is where it's at. You guys draw your own conclusions from the video. Today's video is going to be a little bit more boring because I'm going to try to keep it as real time as possible for those who are looking to buy one of these. If you have a low horsepower or a low flow machine, definitely a rotary head. You can't really run the mulching heads, but I enjoy running the rotary heads the most. And you can tell I'm just blistering through this brush. And one thing, I'll turn that head up on about a 45 or so. If I get into big scrub, I'll try to get the sun to my back to video some of that, or more of it. If it's a big old briar thicket, it usually takes me about 3 passes. Make a full swing. Try to be smooth. I'm running on the same 80% flow. I didn't change it from mulcher. If it gets real steep, I'll use that blade to level the machine up, but then I'm having to adjust the boom up and down for the slope of the bank. Steeper it gets, the less I'll swing past my, like say 10 and 2 o'clock. It gets harder and harder for the swing motor to swing me. Alright, that's good. Let's get on up the hill here a little bit more. What I'm going to do is cut me a path along these power lines, and then I can mow my way out, and that'll cover my tracks and leave a really nice pretty finished product. I'll mostly do the Bushmaster tomorrow and go over how I really mow with it, like in detail, that gets the best results. Right now I just want you guys to see how these 2 separate heads do. But there are techniques to it that will make it a more efficient. Hopefully you guys can see okay here. I'll put you guys up here and you'll be able to see a little more. Right now that's the most narrow field that this camera will do. And you'll notice I also don't like do a whole lot of adjustment of the stick. I tend to leave it out pointing away from me a little bit. We'll just mow this guy over. Now see how I tried to go up under it? That's the downside. But that head has absolutely no problem powering through that. And I think that's because of the blade tip speed. The blade tip speed on these brush cutters is way more than that Fecon head, I believe. I used to know what the RPMs was, but they've retuned that Fecon head, and I really am not sure where it's at now. This is not as fast as a skid steer with a brush cutter, but you can work steeper ground. Somebody's been up in here and cut all these saplings down and they've died and rotted, so that will help. I'll just power right through them. Hopefully the glare's not too awful. Now you can absolutely track along. I usually, this is a 5 foot head. I usually take like a 4 foot cut. That way I overlap my cuts a little bit. Well, here I am already talking, but you gotta watch for your guy wires that come down from the poles. Now, the farther out you reach, the harder it is for your swing motors. So I'll tuck that in a little bit here, since we're not cutting really big stuff, make it easier on my swing. As always, I'm running my excavator full throttle. Bigger stuff in here, and I'll be putting the Fecon back on for that. Let's go ahead, and you can see it's doing a really good job leaving a good cut quality. Let's go ahead and jump into this briar thicket here. We're just going to operate on a 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And I'm going to start operating as I normally do. And that's tracking and swinging at the same time. When you reverse direction of your control to change direction of your swing, make it smooth. Don't make it really hard and abrupt. You want this to have almost a cadence to it. And when you get into thicker things, it doesn't necessarily mean you take less of a cut. You'll notice I'll pile everything off to the left a lot of the time. I'm going to tilt that head out away from me. I'm to swing a little farther, and that way when I swing back, all that junk will catch and drag the stuff off the top of my mower. It won't be perfect every time, but you'll start seeing a pattern here in a second. If you got stuff collected on top of that head, reach up a little bit higher. Now see how it doesn't stay on top as badly. This just takes practice on you guys' part. So there's an amount of dirt there from something. So I have to work around that. This head is not made for dirt, obviously. You can probably tell why I like running this mowing head so much better than the mulching head. It is way faster. You can make some time with this joker. And you don't have 20 teeth to sharpen. You just got 2 blades. Some mowing heads do have 4 blades, which my next mowing head will have. It's much better. Much better to have 4 blades, or even 3. Some of them have 3, I think. Now this head cost about $7,500 as opposed to the Pecan heads, 23. And really, your Pecan head, it's slow, but it is capable of mowing big stuff. I've learned the hard way though, if you try to push this head into too big of stuff, it will, I call it waller, but it'll stretch the holes that the bolts go through that hold that hydraulic motor on. And that's the thicker brush there. Let's go ahead and start working our way out the power lines. Hopefully you guys are finding value in this video, and it's not just boring the doo-doo out of you. Let's crank this thing up real good. Let's get to work. He's wanting me to leave this little bit of pine thicket here on the left. Really, this out through here you can run a tractor down, but why haul a tractor up here when it can't do everything? You can just bring one machine, really. That's what I like about my excavators. I've got all kinds of attachments. They can do anything I want, just about. Same thing with a skid steer. The tractor is almost my favorite thing for fixing driveways. This is going to get steeper and steeper as I go out through here. This excavator does actually have a cruise control. I could set this boom out there and set it to track along, and I wouldn't have to do anything but adjust the high and low of the mowing head, but I would get really bored. Plus, I think I give a better cut quality to the customer doing this. Thicket off. Now the other thing with this head is you can skim along the ground. I'm sure that glare's being kind of nasty to y'all. But you can skim across the ground and those blades really aren't hurt by dirt like the samurai teeth are. Oh yeah, this gets really steep. It's about to get fun. So we want to tuck this up, unless you're mowing big stuff and that boom and all, or the stick and all the hoses are going to be getting pulled on constantly. That's not good. I think what I want to do is go ahead and start angling my way up the hill. And I'm going to mow about like this. That way I can lean back in the seat. I don't have to hold myself up the whole dang time. Alright, so the glare on my glass is absolutely terrible. One technique that I do, I know I said I wasn't going to talk a lot, but let's face it, y'all know me. One other technique that I do want to mention today, because this is the steeper side. Number one, this is so steep that my Yanmar excavator would be kicking tracks off. Caterpillar has a really good track system, and I can get as steep as I want to. I pulled this up. What I want is my stick at almost a 90-degree angle with the boom angle, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly swing here, giving that head plenty of time to cut, and then once I reach down facing straight down the hill, I go a full left lever or joystick and swing on through it. Then I stop and I use, let's see where we at, that corner to track forward about 4 feet. Alright, now, sorry about the glare, but it'll go away. I'm going to repeat. Just nice and slow swing, give that head time to cut. Get down to the straight downhill position, full joystick. And it makes it to where you're not wearing on that left and right swing, and it actually is a lot faster. So let me show you kind of how it looks when I'm doing it at my full speed. Now again, I'm not rushing the head while it's cutting through the bulk of the stuff, which is usually between a full stick. Like when I'm facing straight ahead in the direction that I'm tracking, it's usually like 10 to 2. That's the bulk of your cut. See, like right now, it's just cutting a little bit. As I swing farther to the left, it's going to be cutting more of a swath. Again, I'm going to swing on through. Another thing that does, if you keep it close to the ground, not only are you swinging on through, but you're giving that path behind you its second cut. So you're actually doing something. I mean, you're doing good, and you're doing a production thing. Once in a while you'll have a really thick patch, you just go right back over it and we just proceed on. So you got to play around with this stuff and figure out what works for you. See how good it got that little locust. I'm convinced this brush cutter for anything 2 inches and under, so much better. Now see how hard of a time that's full right stick. So I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing full circles. Now if you're a person who gets dizzy, you don't watch the surrounding area. Focus on the head itself and what's being fed into the mouth. Because then you're looking at something that in your perception is still. It's not moving really. Now for some people, yeah, looking at that may be dizzying, but there again, that's just where you guys have to figure out what works best for you. You do this enough, you'll get to where you don't get dizzy. You'll figure out what works for you. You'll not be intimidated by slopes. But there again, I'm not sponsored by Cat at all. I absolutely love this 309. It is, for mulching, I don't think for its weight class, there could possibly be a better machine. And if there is, anybody who wants to send me a machine to demo, I will demo it. But don't expect me to say it's better than the Cat, because I don't see how that's possible. Alright, let's keep going. guys right next to my head at this point. I gotta cut with that side of the mower, otherwise it'll fling stuff right at our faces. Right now I don't have the head spinning in the ideal direction. I need to reverse it to use the better edge of the blades for a while. I'm just working my way along. I can't get too close to the edge of this creek bank because it's kind of undermined. Well, I can't get too close with the body and the tracks. I can get all the way over the edge, Boom. We're doing good. Kind of working our way back away from the steepest parts. As close to what it would look like if you were sitting in the operator's seat. I'm gonna have to call it a day here shortly. I only had an hour or two to work today. I tend to swing uphill when I travel. Seems like the tracks leave less of a mess behind me. Quite a bit of work can be done up the hill. I'm going to do the bulk of the good. This right here is the first time that this machine's offered to pull the track behind me off the ground. Just reaching a little extra. Get this little locus out. I'm telling you, these brush cutting heads, they're tough. Cut. I don't smell that locust. It doesn't smell as good as pine. I wish we were getting to mulch the pine down because it smells good. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this project. As you can see behind me, we did really well on that slope. Let's see if I can hold it up to this pole, maybe get a, yeah, right there is fairly level. So you can see out through there, it gets on a pretty good slope. Not sure, I know we want to keep the pine thicket, but we may have some bigger stuff to mulch out through there. And the main event tomorrow, I'm gonna dive into this stuff here. Really nasty stuff, really thick and a lot bigger stuff. And I'm gonna chase the property line out through there. So we're just gonna blaze a trail into that stuff. Gonna be a lot more fun to watch than that easy stuff we did today. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and ding that bell. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And for those of you who watch this video trying to decide mulcher or mower, comment for me, value. We've done it before and we've used that word before, but it's important that I know if you are getting value out of these videos. If you would have rather just seen a big time lapse, put that in the comments. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and my family, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.